Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are gonna solve a new problem in Top Interview 150 from LeetCode, and the question name is Jump Game 2. And this is a medium level question. It is similar to the previous question. The only difference between both of them are, like in the previous question we were told that we have to start our iteration from the zeroth index or the first index, and we need to reach the last index of the array, right? And if we can reach the last index, we needed to return true, otherwise we had to return false. But here what we need to do is, we know that we will be reaching the end of the array. Okay, the only thing we need to return is the minimum number of jumps that will be required to means to reach the last index of the array or the end of the array. Okay, so if we have 2 3 1 1 4, okay, so there are two indexes we can go from 2, right? After 2 we can go to 3 also, and we can go to 1 also, right? Now after 3 we have 3 more choices, right? We can go to 1, or we can go to the second one, or we can go directly to 4, right? And after this one we again have to go to 1, and after that we will be reaching 4, right? But here, if we are going to the second one, then we will be going to 4 just after the 1, and here we already reached the last index. In the if we go to 1 after 2, means we can take maximum 2 jumps, right? So if I reach the second index, after that I will have to go to 1, again I will go to 1, and after that I will reach the last index, right? So if we see that how many steps we are taking in our first process or the first value, so we are taking 4 steps, right? And after that, when we are checking the other condition, we are having 3 steps here, and again we are having 2 steps when we are going directly to the from 2 we are taking 1 jump, and from 3 I am taking 3 jumps, then I can directly reach the end of the array. And if I am going to the second index from 2, then I have to take 3 number of steps to reach the end of the array. So which one is the having the minimum number of steps? So if we go from 2 to 3 and then I take 3 jumps, then I can directly reach the end of the array. So the minimum number of steps that I can take is 2, right? Now in this, what we are doing, we are trying to explore all the conditions that are possible, right? So in such condition, when we need to explore all the conditions, we go to recursion, right? So the approach that we will be following to solve this question will be recursion. Now once we know that we need to use recursion, after that we try to optimize those, right? And then we have DP that comes into picture, and in DP also we will be having memoization and tabulation, right? So we will have memoization and tabulation. Okay, so let's see what we are doing here. So we know that we have to start from the zeroth index only, and after that from zeroth index we will be going to one index, that is for sure. So the minimum steps that I can take from 0 index, right, is 1, right? So the minimum value that we will have here will be 1 only. So what we will do, let's say our index value, that is I, is equals to 0. Okay, means we are on the zeroth index, and from here, like the from after like zeroth index I can go to 1 and second index according to this value, right? Now we are having 2, so from here I can go to the first index and second index. There are 2 possibilities. So if we have our outer loop as I is equals to 0, okay, so inner loop if we have, let's name as j, then it will go from 1 to less than equals to the value that we have at our index, right? So now we are on the zeroth index. Okay, so I can go to 3 if I am having 2 3 1 1 4, right? So I need to explore this condition also, and after this I will be exploring the 1, right? So I will start the iteration for this. So what will happen now, I need to check for 3 from 1 index, like we are on the first index, right? After that I need to check that where I can iterate, how many times I can iterate, that I will reach the last or the last index of the array, right? So I need to check now the minimum number of steps that will be possible. Okay, so the other thing that we have here is, let's say the value that I have on this index is 3. Okay, so if we have like any value that surpasses the number of length or the total number of index that is possible, then we will be facing an error that will tell us that the list index is out of range. So to avoid that issue, we will be checking a condition that rj plus index value should always be less than length of the nums. Okay, why are we doing this? Now after 2, okay, let's say I am on 0th index and my value is 5. Okay, 5 and 1. Okay, now I have to check for this index. Let's say we have one more value, we are having 4 here, so we need to reach 4, and I can directly reach 4 means in one step only, right? So if I start iteration from 0th index and I iterate every time, means I can iterate from 0 to means 1 to 5 times, right? Because I am having 5, so I can iterate 5 times. Now after 2 only it will show me an error, right, that I cannot iterate anymore. So for that only we will check this condition, that whatever value that we have in j, okay, and the index value that we have, which is 0 here, so it should be less than the nums, so that we don't face any error. Okay, now we need to calculate the minimum value, right? So for that, first what we will do, we will initialize a variable with the maximum value that will be possible. Okay, so in our in the question we have constant, it is given that the maximum value that for nums of I we will have will be 1000. Okay, so we can initialize the mini with 10 power 4, right, because it will not exceed 10 power 3, so it is we can take the maximum value as 10 power 4 only. Now we need to check for minimum, right? So for minimum, what we will do, we will compare with the minimum value first of all, and the other value that we will have will be the steps that we are taking every time. So every time I call the function again, it will be counted as one step, right? So if I am having 2, 3, 1, 1, 4, okay, so from my index value is 0 now, and I will be starting from 1, right? So once my I is 1, so it will start from 3. Now after that again it is, if it is starting from 1, then what will happen, we will go to 1 here, then we will check for this condition and this condition, right? So the minimum value right now that we will have, we will go till 4, right? This will be the recursion depth for the first step, so we will be taking 4 steps here, right? And now the minimum value that we have here is 10 power 4. So if we will compare 10 power 4 with 4, then it is obvious that we will get the minimum steps as 4 right now. Okay, now we have another condition also, right, where we can go to the second one from 3 directly, right? So if we go to the second one, then we will be taking the number of okay, we need to go to 3 first. So we will be taking the minimum number of steps as 3. Now when we will compare 4 and 3, again we will get an updated value where minimum steps will get updated to 3, right? Because 3 is less than 4. Again when we will check for the we will have one more condition where from 2 to 3 we will go, and directly we can go to the 4th or the last index. So we will be taking only 2 steps here. Again when we will compare 3 and 2, then what we will get, minimum steps as 2. Now this is for the first condition, right? If we are going from 2 to 3. Now there is also a condition where we can go from 2 to 1, okay, and after that we will go to 1 again and we will go to 4, right? So how many steps we are taking? We are taking 3 steps, right? So when we will be comparing 2 and 3, then minimum number of steps that we will be returning is 2 only, right? So what we are doing, every time we are calling the function, we are incrementing the value by 1, right? So for that only, what we will do, for every function call we will add 1 here. Okay, so we will add 1 and we will call the function. And how we will call the function? It will means we need to pass the index value here till which our value will iterate, right? Till which index our j will iterate. So here what we will pass, since the j plus I index value is less than nums, then we can pass this value, right? Because till there I can my loop can iterate. So this is what we will be passing in a function. Now we are iterating here, okay, or we are iterating and we are calling the function again. Now let's say we have the nums at index in such a way, or the index value that we are having, okay, the index value that we are having right here means we are passing the value, it is fine. Now let's say the index value at some like while we are iterating we pass the value, and then what happens when we are coming across an index where the index becomes less than or equals greater than or equals to length of nums, right? Then we cannot iterate anymore, right? For that only we will need a base condition, and this will be our base condition, that if index will become greater than or equals to the length of nums, then we will be returning 0, right? So here what we are doing, we are having a function, let's write it clearly. So we are having a function which is taking nums as parameter and index value, okay. Now when we are iterating we will have a base condition where we will check if I is greater than or equals to length of nums, then we will be returning 0, right? So this is our base condition. Now we will have our j iteration which will start from first index and will go till nums of I, right? And we will check a condition here, if I plus j is less than length of nums, right? So we will add our minimum of 1 plus function of nums, means we will be calling the function with the I plus j value, right? So we will be calling for I plus j, and what we will do, we will pass the mini also, we need to compare, right? So now this is our this is the basic structure of our program. We also need to return initialize the minimum value, so we will initialize it with 10 power 4, and now outside the loop we will return minimum steps. So here we are following some steps, and these only we will be using in our when we will be converting our code to DP, okay. So here what we are having a base condition, we are having a loop, okay. Now in this the time complexity we have is exponential, right? And the space complexity that we have is O of n, right? We are having a stack space. Now what will happen when we will be memoizing our code? Memoization. So we will take a new array which is DP, okay. So we will take a DP which will be of length n, and we will be initializing it with the maximum value that is possible, okay. So we will be taking 10 bar 4 only, and now the entire code will remain same. Let's see what changes we will make, okay. So after that line, okay, or after the base condition, we will check if dp of I is not equals to, since we are initializing with this value, so we will write 10 power 4, then we need to return dp of I, okay. So this is one of the condition. Now in the loop what we were doing, for j is equals to 0 and j was going till less than equals to nums of I, right? So instead of storing the value in minimum, what I can do, I can store it in my DP, so that when I am going at the same index, I can use the previous value, right? So what I will do here, I will store it in my DP. So DP of I will become minimum of DP of I and whatever function that we were calling and the value that it will return, right? So 1 plus function of nums and j plus I, okay? And at the end of the loop, instead of returning minimum value, we will return DP of I. So this is what we will be doing in a memoization, right? Now the time complexity that we have in our memoization is O of n square, right? Because what we are doing here, we are stopping the extra recursion that we were having in the extra recursive steps that we are having in our previous, right? In our previous approach. Now the time complexity has been reduced, but we are using the stack space, right? Because we have recursion here, so we are using this stack space and we have one DP, right? So now our target is to remove this stack space. So now we will move on to the tabulation and we will be removing this stack space, okay? So in tabulation, what will happen? Our DP will be initialized in the similar way like we had declared now. So it will be initialized with 10 power 4, and now let's say we will be since tabulation is a bottom up process, so we will be starting from the end of the index or the end of the array. So now let's say my I only have one value in the array, okay? So I don't have to jump, right? I will be on that index, so number of steps that will be required will be 0. So for that, what I will keep on the n minus 1th index, I don't have to make any jumps, right? So I will be keeping the value as 0. Now we will be, since we will be iterating in the reverse order, so we already have a value on n minus 1 and we will be starting the iteration from n minus 2. So from n minus 2 we will go till greater than or equals to 0, right? So this is our I iteration, and for j it will be in a similar way, right? For j we will start from 1 only and we will go till less than or equals to I plus, sorry, nums at that index, right? Nums at I. Now I will have to calculate the minimum value, right? Like we were doing here, we were doing dp is equals to minimum of this, right? So here what we were doing, we were checking for condition also, right? Okay, I have missed out the condition here. So we were checking the condition also, if I plus j is less than nums or not, right? So that will not be required here, okay? Why? Because when we will be storing our values in the dp, there will not be a chance that we will be iterating, right? Means we will be calling a recursive function. Since we can go till n minus 1 only, so in our dp only we can check on the index, like if we are having calculating the minimum. So what we will do, dp of I is equals to minimum of dp of I, comma, like we were calling a function here with I plus j, right? And it was the only condition where we would have exceeded the length of nums. But here instead of that, what we can do, here we will do 1 plus, like we had done there, 1 plus dp of minimum of n minus 1 comma I plus j, right? So whatever minimum, if I am exceeding the length of the array, then I will simply take n minus 1, right? There is not a single chance where I will be exceeding the length of the array. And since I need to keep storing the value, so I have to take into consideration every I plus j. Now we already are storing our dp of means minimum value in our dp of I, and since what we are doing, we are starting from the last index, right? We are starting from n minus 1. So the final answer that we will be storing is in dp of 0. So out of the loop, what we will do, we will return dp of 0. Okay. So these are our 3 approaches, And now the time complexity that we have is 2 O of n square only, but our space complexity got reduced to O of n, right? Only the space that we were using for dp. Now these are the three approaches, or recursion, memoization and tabulation, which we will be using to solve this problem. Now let's move on to the code editor and we will solve the question there. In the code editor, I will only be solving the tabulation approach, and the memoization and recursion approach I will be uploading on my GitHub. You can access that from there. So now let's move on to the code editor. So let's see the code now. We will have our dp, right? We will initialize it with 10 power 4 and the size of the dp will be n. Now before that we will initialize n, which is the length of our array. Now we will have dp of n minus 1 as 0, right? So dp of n minus 1 will be 0 because we don't need to jump to reach the n minus 1th index. Now we will start our iteration, which will be starting from n minus 2. We will go till 0 index. Now we will have j. It will start from first index and it will go till nums of I, right? So 1 to nums of I plus 1. Now we have to store the minimum value. So dp of I is equals to minimum of dp of I comma 1 plus dp of minimum of n minus 1 and I plus j. Since we are as told that we are storing the value in the reverse order, so our final answer will be stored at 0, dp of 0. So we will return dp of 0. Now let's try to run it. So the sample test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. And in case you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments too. So I will try to clarify it more. And in order to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.